Hello and welcome to the Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Nowakowski. I am a salon owner, educator, mindset, and leadership coach that helps salon owners go from overwhelmed and burnt out to motivated and empowered. It is my mission to help you systemize your business, generate more profit, and create a career that you are absolutely in love with. Join us every week to learn about the small shifts you can make to elevate your business regarding mindset, marketing, social media, business systems, and so much more. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Elevate podcast, the space where we challenge the norm, refine excellence, and create transformational businesses in the beauty industry. Today, I would love to take you on a journey, one that changed the way that I have looked at the client experience forever. It starts not at a salon, but at a Michelin Starred restaurant in downtown Chicago. If you have never heard of it, Alinea just isn't a restaurant, it's an institution. For over 20 years, it has remained one of the most respected and celebrated culinary experiences in the entire country. If you have Netflix, I highly recommend that you go to the first season of The Chef's Table. I believe it's the first season. And watch the episode on Alinea. First of all, the chef's story is absolutely remarkable. He actually had cancer on his tongue, which is just a story in itself. But you can experience what I experienced through your screen, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about in today's episode. This restaurant has been in Chicago for over 20 years. I have to say, the restaurant market is very, very competitive, especially in a big city like Chicago. And the fact that this has remained one of the top restaurants in Chicago for so long is remarkable in itself. And I have to say, my experience from booking the reservation to leaving the restaurant was absolutely flawless. Are you ready to take your salon to the next level without all the guesswork? I'm excited to introduce the launch of the Salon Owner Blueprint, the ultimate program designed to help you build, grow, and sustain a thriving salon. Whether you're just starting out or looking to fine-tune your existing business, this comprehensive blueprint covers everything you need for success, from creating a solid business structure to mastering your marketing and streamlining your hiring process, to building client loyalty, improving team earning potential, and managing operations seamlessly. The Salon Owner Blueprint literally has it all. If you're ready to stop putting out fires and to start running your salon with confidence and clarity, then the Salon Owner Blueprint is for you. Enroll today by clicking the link in the show notes or heading to www.opulentbeautypro.com/blueprint. It's time to create a salon you're proud of and to start building the business of your dreams. After experiencing this restaurant for myself, I totally understood why. Every single detail, every single interaction, every moment was so intentional, so well thought out, and so elevated that I will absolutely be going back, even with such a high price point for the experience overall. So for dinner and drinks, it was very expensive. And this has been on my bucket list for, gosh, I can't even tell you how long I've wanted to go to this restaurant. It was my 10-year anniversary, wedding anniversary, and my 44th birthday. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to book it. I literally was so happy that I did. As I left that night, and after I experienced the entire dinner, I kept on thinking, why is this not the industry standard for us as salon owners? And why do salons fall so short of this level of service experience and excellence? That's what today's episode is about. What salons are missing, why most stylists don't understand luxury, because they don't. And to be honest, it is so hard to understand something that you've never experienced for yourself. And let's be honest, most stylists have never had this level of experience ever. So, how can you build a brand that rivals with every salon in your area? And that is in how it feels, how it operates, and the reputation your salon has. So, the problem on why most salons never reach luxury, and I'm just going to start with the truth, is most salons are running on outdated models and outdated training and outdated expectations. We always train our stylists on how to do good hair, right? We train them how to cut, we train them how to color, we train them how to finish. But a lot of salons do not train their stylists on how to lead guests through a meaningful, elevated, unforgettable experience. If you are lost on how to train your team, we have everything that you need for your salon in the Salon Owner's Blueprint. I recently just added the ABCs of the consultation and the 4 Rs of the closing consultation. These are just a couple training resources I have in my program. This program is so robust and it is priced so low. You need to go and check it out. If you feel like you don't have time to put things together as a salon owner, I literally have put every single resource I utilize in my salon into this program. It is a steal. Now back to the episode. So when we say we offer luxury, most of the time we mean expensive products, the fact that we serve coffee, and that we have nice branding. And in reality, every single salon has that. That is not luxury. When we talk about luxury, it's not about the money, it's about the intentionality and it's about the training. It's about designing an experience where nothing is random and everything is meant to move your guest emotionally, physically, and even spiritually. And that's where we fall short. We don't train stylists to read body language or customize their energy. We don't teach them to anticipate the guest's needs or speak confidently about the product choices. We don't emphasize precision in presentation, from the color tray to the consultation to the way the drinks are delivered to even having a menu that clients can pull from with snacks and with beverages. And worst of all, we don't hold the entire team to the same service standard. And that's where I see a lot of salons fall short. They fall short in their training, but even if you are training, are you holding your team accountable? There are so many salons that do not hold their team accountable because, one, a lot of salon owners don't have the energy and they don't have the understanding of accountability. And there's so much fear around losing clients. So without cohesive training, your salon can never deliver a cohesive experience. Every single stylist in your salon should be delivering at the same level. And if they're not, you need to get the stylists that are not at the level up to speed. So I want to walk you through what I experienced at Alinea because it just wasn't a dinner. It was a masterclass in what it means to operate truly at the highest level. I had to pay in full when I booked this reservation. The booking was so easy. I had to select the date just like our clients do. I had to select my experience and pay the 20% gratuity up front, which I might add, by the way, was so convenient because the day of our reservation, we had to worry about nothing. We didn't have to worry about paying. We didn't have to worry about what the experience was going to look like because it was already set for us. As soon as we pulled up, the valet grabbed our car. When we walked into the restaurant, the hostess immediately asked me for my valet ticket. She ripped off the bottom and took it, and she said, "Thank you so much. We'll have your car waiting for you as soon as your dining experience is over." Mind you, it's the elevated verbiage and the convenience. I knew walking into my reservation that I did not have to wait for the valet to bring my car, which sometimes in the city of Chicago can take anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, which is kind of annoying. So they took away that hassle for me as soon as I walked through the door. I didn't have to ask I didn't have to remind them. They just thought ahead. That is luxury. How can you think ahead to make your client's experience as easy as possible? Also, when we entered, the host took my name, immediately congratulated us on our anniversary, and told me happy birthday. Nothing was scripted, really just a warm, personalized energy. So it didn't feel like they were performing, they were being hospitable. And the entire experience was curated to awaken our senses through the entire dining experience. At one point, we physically held a dish. It was actually the first dish. It was caviar. And the bowl matched the texture of the caviar. So they had us hold that. Not only that, every single dish matched the course that we were eating. So the shape, the color, the theme was all so well thought out. And the presentation was impeccable. The sound, the lighting, and everything was paced perfectly. We never felt rushed, and we never felt like we were waiting. The wines were not just poured, they were paired with a storytelling. We were educated, never lectured. We felt elevated and not out of place at all. After the first dish, they walked us down to the kitchen. We actually had a course in the kitchen so we could see how the kitchen operated. And again, we were educated while we were in the kitchen of what was going on and had that experience on top of the already elevated experience at our table. So here is the most important thing. Every single team member was operating at the same standard, the same energy, and the same level of excellence. There was no weak link. There was no inconsistency. Not to mention, every single time that me or my husband got up to use the restroom, someone immediately met us at the table and walked us to the restroom so we knew exactly where we were going. At the end of our meal, they gave us a menu to take home, a printed memory of the journey we had just experienced that was personalized for our anniversary and also personalized for my birthday. That is branding. That was emotional imprinting. And that is what people talk about long after they leave your business. There were so many courses in the meal, and on top of that, the wine that we were drinking, that I was like, oh my God, I don't even remember everything we ate because there had to have been at least 10 courses. So I was actually on the phone with my friend and she was asking me about the restaurant, and I was like, oh my God, let me grab the menu so I can go over the different dishes that we had so I could remember the entire experience, which reignited all of the flavors that I had the day before. It was incredible. I also want to talk about the bathrooms. The bathrooms were impeccable and the entire restaurant was impeccable. They were so clean. And that also ignited the senses. The soap they had for me to wash my hands was so invigorating. The towels that they gave us to dry our hands after we washed our hands was an experience in itself. Not to mention how bougie the toilets were. I mean, everything was so well thought out down to the restrooms that it really just made me rethink how we do things in my salon. Something as silly as a bathroom, right? But it is a detail of your business. So how do we apply this in our world, and how do we take a $1,500 dinner and have it teach us to infuse into what we do inside of the salon, in our haircuts, in our blonding sessions, in our blowouts? Before the guest even sits in the chair, their experience should already feel personal. Do you pre-visit the clients online? How is their online booking experience? Does your front desk or your stylist know if they're celebrating anything? Like, our new booking system makes it so convenient for us to see our clients' birthdays. And that is something else that you can do in your salon. Do your stylists have a system for remembering details, kids' names, favorite products, favorite drinks, past styles, things they didn't like? Personalization isn't a perk, it's the foundation of emotional loyalty. How can you curate a sensory experience in your salon? Does your space sound, smell, feel, and taste amazing? Do you use a signature scent in your salon? Do you have music that actually sets the tone for a mood? It should be curated, not random. We have specific playlists in my salon. The playlists are created not for the stylist, but for the clients coming in so they can have a relaxing experience in my salon. Do you serve beverages with intentions, not just coffees in a paper cup? Think glassware, infusions, napkins. You can even do like a monthly mocktail or a coffee specialty or different drinks around the holidays that can be thoughtful and something that clients can look forward to. Do you consider the temperature, the texture, the fabrics from the cape to the shampoo bowl to the towels? Can you change things in your bathroom so they are more elevated? If it doesn't enhance the senses, it's not luxury. How can your team educate? Like I was educated with my dinner. Your team should know how to present and explain every product and service with confidence and grace in your salon. Are they letting the clients smell the products before they're putting them in their hair? Are they letting the clients touch the products before they're actually putting them in the hair? Are they educating them without overwhelming them? And, if you do not have scripts in your salon, you should. Again, we have scripts in the Salon Owner's Blueprint that you can use to elevate your team and to educate your team on how to explain things. Why are they using the toner? Why are they using a certain treatment? Why do you have the color line that you have in your salon? What does the product do? How can your clients care for their extensions at home? Stop assuming that clients don't care because they don't care because they're not taught to care. Luxury is guided curiosity. Do your stylists know how to read the guest's energy and adjust accordingly? I know I can read body language. I know I can read if somebody's having a bad day or not. Are you offering an umbrella when it's raining outside for the guests that are coming in for blowouts or any sort of service in your salon? You can buy cheap umbrellas on Amazon so that the clients can leave and go to their car so that their hair isn't ruined. Do you provide a low maintenance color option for new moms without them needing to ask? Or do you know how to adjust a service to meet a client's budget? Train your team to be one step ahead always. I remember when I had guests when I was working in my commission salon, I would pick up their drink and hand it to them before they had to reach forward. I would make sure that my clients didn't have to ask for anything. I anticipated what they needed before they actually had to ask for it. And that is something we have to train our team on always. And you need to systemize the standard. I know that the people working in this restaurant did not just come in working in this restaurant and were just thrown on the floor. They were trained at the highest level. At Alinea, excellence wasn't personality based, it was process based. You could tell every single person that was allowed to serve the guests there were highly trained and picked because they understood luxury. And that is something that you need to make sure that you are doing in your salon. Do you have written salon standards? Do you onboard new stylists to role play and refine them, especially with the consultation? And are stylists reviewed on the entire client journey, not just their average ticket? It's not built into our culture. It is something that we have to train so it can be scalable. And leaving a lasting touch point. What are the guests walking out with? A handwritten note, a sample bag with curated product suggestions, a style card that reminds them of the products that they used. Don't just close the service, close the experience. So here is what Alinea taught me. Excellence isn't loud. Luxury isn't loud. They're quiet, subtle. meaningful layers of intention that add up to something unforgettable. If your clients are coming and going and saying it was fine, you are forgettable. You do not want to be forgettable in our industry. You do not want to be forgettable in a high saturated market. If they're not coming back because of how you made them feel, you aren't building legacy. Salons don't need more services. They need more purpose. You need a solid vision, more attention to the details that no one else is noticing, but everyone remembers. So my challenge to you today is, what is your Alinea? What is the level of experience you're willing to hold your team to consistently, quietly, without compromise? Because the salons that survive in the industry are not the loudest, they're the busiest. They're the ones who understand luxury is not a vibe, people. It's a standard. And you need to hold your team to that standard, and you need to have a roadmap of what that standard is for your team, and you need to train them every single week to be better. We have to work on helping our team be better. Thank you for tuning into the Elevate podcast. If this episode stirred something in you, I want you to take action. Share with your team. Audit your current experience, choose one layer to elevate this week. And if you're ready to build a solid salon that doesn't follow the industry but leads it, you know where to find me. Until next time, elevate everything. Thanks for tuning in to the Elevate podcast. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you would leave a review on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen. The Elevate podcast is hosted by me, Patricia Nowakowski, and is produced by Opulent Beauty Pro. To receive my free business guides, visit opulentbeautypro.com/free or click the link in the show notes. You can find me on Instagram at Opulent Beauty Pro or at Patricia_Nowakowski_OBS. If you love this show, please consider subscribing, and we will see you next week.